Hello, friends. Over the past few weeks, we've been talking about the idea of how God works, what God is, and what it does. Another way of saying that is how life works, what life does. And it does indeed work through consciousness. Quantum science says that consciousness is the ground of all being, and many of us believe God is, or consciousness is, life is the ground of all being. All that is of God, regardless of what you call it. Today we're going to be talking about how to use it, how to use God, how to use life, how to use your own thought, your own conscious awareness to create in your life in a manner in which you desire to experience. And so many philosophers and great writers and thinkers and speakers over time have used this same philosophy, this same science of mind philosophy in various ways in their teachings, in their talks, to promote an idea of realizing that the way we think influences what we attract in our life. Abraham Hicks, Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer,
Eckhart Tolle, Thoreau, Emerson. Shall we go on?
Yes, lots and lots and lots. And I'm sure you're thinking of some yourself right now. A few weeks ago, I read an article by Reverend Dr. Arthur Chang in which he said, change wishes into affirmations and affirmations into action. And so indeed, in Science of Mind, we do not believe that you just sit there on your pillow and think for the day and whatever you desire will show up. No, you're probably not going to have a new car in your living room where you're sitting on your pillow thinking about it. We have to take the action as we're guided and directed within. And the thinking aspect of it is invaluable because it helps us get clear-minded with what we do desire and also with the direction in which we must take action in order to achieve. Ernest Holmes wrote, cultivating your own thought, living in continuous expectancy and affirmation, knowing the truth, you are doing your part. Your problem is to convert your own thinking. You do this through words, audibly and inaudibly expressed, through thoughts, ideas, beliefs, prayer, which is communion with the invisible, realization, meditation, whatever you choose to call the process. It's a thinking process in which we are able to determine how to take action in our own life. And so to do this, we'd like to start with some favorite Science of Mind quotes, because in Science of Mind we come up with these really cute quotes, and sometimes we just borrow other people's quotes or other people's words and ideas, and then we use them as a driving force to keep our mind focused in the place that we know it needs to be in order to attract ourselves into a successful life. So would you like to start off with?
Sure, I start with one. I think it's probably one of the most relevant quotes for what we're talking about today in terms of how to use this thing called life, or this science of mind. Is simply change your thinking, change your life. Now, a lot of people will say that seems pretty simplistic. Do you just think about something and it actually happens? Well, depends how you look at it. The fleeting thoughts that we have, those transitory ideas that go through our mind constantly, are one thing, but the deep-held belief systems, the things we say our life, our principles to us at a heartfelt level, are a little bit different. And so we change a lot of those thoughts that are going through our mind, or maybe even unconscious, but they are those things that sculpt our environment around us and create the life that we experience. So changing our thinking is changing those belief systems, those ideas within us that are sculpting our life, and allowing ourselves to change into the life which we wish to experience. So changing your thinking and changing your life is creating a new consciousness, a new awareness of life principle and the way life works. Ernest Holmes says, "A thought held in mind produces after its kind." And that is basically what it's talking about. A thought held in mind is not something that flies through our awareness and immediately, but it's something that we hold there. It's something that we ponder upon and put energy on. That's what he meant when he said there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. We're actually aligning ourselves with that energy. Consciousness is an energy. We know from, well, I'm going to start with a couple of propositions. We know that in spirituality, we know that God is all that is. I know that if I am, then God is all that I am. Well, there's one principle. We also know through science, from quantum science, that everything is energy. We know that the fundamental basis of everything is energy. Even that which appears to be matter is actually energy. And we know that our thoughts are energy. And we know through quantum science that our observations and thoughts actually can influence the action of matter around us. And so therefore it's not woo-woo spiritual stuff that's happening, it's actually scientific principle. And so we know that using our thoughts make a change in our environment. So when he says there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it, he's talking about universal energy. And if God is all that is, and everything is energy, we can use that terminology, universal energy, as a name for God, a concept for God. And so we can use science to back up spiritual principles. And so therefore those thoughts that we held in our mind actually influence those things around us, the energy around us, and manifest new things in our lives. Ernest Holmes says life is a mirror, and we will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. It's simply a matter of putting energy into universal source and then receiving the benefit from that back to us. We use prayer as one of our methods of using our mental energy. We use prayer as an opportunity to shift our thinking and to change the belief systems that we hold within us. Norman Vincent Peale says, prayer doesn't change things for us, it changes us for things. We know that every thought is a prayer, and as we think, we create new and different experiences around us because we are actually creating through the process of thought and through the process of conditioned thought, which we would call prayer.
Yes, I love that. So we're looking at the idea that thoughts create things. So let's take some examples from real life for us. So easy ones for us to look at are things like exercise, our health, and our eating. Those three are major ideas that each and every one of us engages and entertains in our own mind from time to time. And what we think about, we create more of in those ways. So
what we think about, we bring about.
Yes, we do. We definitely do. So let's look outside the box. I have several friends, quite a few friends, that own their own businesses. And they are spiritual thinkers. They activate within their own mind the idea that they desire to have in their life, and then they take the actions, they follow through on the actions that they must take in order to achieve success for that goal. But it all began as a seed of desire, a seed of that was a goal for what they wanted. They planted the seed in their own mind for what they wanted, and then listened intuitively and stepped into the action necessary to achieve it. So I invite us to imagine a tightrope walker. So think for just a moment about yourself being on that little tiny platform up there, 100 feet up or 35 miles up or whatever you want to think about. For me, even 20 feet up is going to be a bit high. So I would stand there and I would plant the seed that I am not a tightrope walker, and I would take the action to walk back down those stairs holding on very tightly. You would probably maybe give it a whirl with a belt on. So some of you were imagining yourselves standing on that platform thinking, well, if I had the practice behind me, this would be exhilarating. I'm an adventurer and I would love this. Some of you are thinking, no way, I'm not even climbing up the ladder. So what happens is, at some point, a tightrope walker plants the seed in their own mind, the desire to do such a feat in life. And then they must take the action, take the steps necessary to learn how to accomplish it, and then to do it. And so each one of us is a little bit different. A famous tightrope walker, Nick Wallenda, says his stunts are all about focus. And you know, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about how we take a focus on something that we desire and we bring that into existence in our life by what we attract ourselves to and the steps that we take. Some more quotes that I really like that are science of mind thinking. One is, where the mind goes, energy flows. So I think to myself, at some point, maybe in most of our adult lives, we've thought, maybe I'll get a new car. Oh, actually, I think I would like to get a new car. But if we just sit there and watch TV or eat our banana splits or whatever we're doing, that new car probably isn't going to manifest. Now, maybe it is, but probably you're going to have to make sure you have the money for the new car or the means, financial means to get the new car, and you're going to go looking for the new car so that you can make that purchase and have it. Goal achieved, success, but it began as a thought in your mind. Another idea is, prepare your mind to receive the very best that life has to offer. In Science of Mind, we are always, well, most always, thinking about the highest vision, the best. And I know we all step out of that from time to time. We all get off track a little bit, fall off into the brambles of the pathway. But for the most part, we know at the center, at the very core of our being, that when we do fall off, we fall off and we know that's where we're supposed to be. It's the perfect path to enable us to achieve our destiny, to achieve success. How about never limit your view of life by any past experience? Whoa, that's a big one, isn't it? Never limit your view of life by any past experience. I often say we are products of our experiences. And so in order to get out of our own way, we have to look toward the future. We have to look toward what we desire now. And then three more. Three more, because they're all so good. And I know if you're a Science of Mind person, you're thinking of many more. How about God works through us, for us, by working through us? God works for us by working through us. Another great is, inspiration without activation is hallucination. And let's end on this note. David's favorite. You want to read it or say it?
Sure. This is my favorite Ernest Holmes quote. Hence, it follows that if we believe that it will not work, it really works by appearing not to work. When we believe that it cannot and will not, then according to the principle, it does not. But when it does not, it still does. Only it does according to our belief that it will not.
Ooh, powerful. That is a powerful statement, and it is such a true statement. So that quote is actually on in the Science of Mind textbook, page 52, the 5th paragraph, if you're interested in looking it up, because that one will help you change your thinking to change your life. Because you are always creating your own life by the seeds you plant in your mind. And so today we wish you a happy, happy week of practicing how to use life for good for yourself and others.
Have fun.